That's right, guys. In today's episode I will compare the most popular training modalities such as HIIT, strength training with weights and bodyweight, and circuit training. I will also explain why following some of these trends might be what's holding you back, and I will help you build a workout plan that actually fits you and helps you lose fat permanently. Welcome to the Limitless Body and Mind podcast, and thank you for being my guest. My name is Peter and I'll be your host. I'll be helping you lose weight and get in shape with science-backed strategies and with my experience as a coach for the last 6 years. If you're tired from jumping from one trend to another, this episode is very good for you, so make sure to stick around until the end. I'll be giving you actionable tips that you can apply right away and start losing weight permanently. I also release weekly episodes, so make sure to subscribe if you like content like this, and if you want to support my channel, it's much appreciated. Okay, so before it gets too messy, I want to discuss the most common mistakes that you guys are doing and what you have to avoid after watching this video especially. So the mistake is that you often tend to pick workout plans that somebody recommended just because they work for them. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong that you probably don't even think about. Let's start with the fact that for you to lose weight and transform, you have to transform as a person. You can't be expecting your body to change if you don't change. And for that to happen, you have to go through a very long period of time, of process, of training and being committed. And if this training plan that you're seeing from somebody is not something you can commit to in very long term, then that's not going to work for you. And it's very important you consider that. This training plan can also not be fit for your body type, for your fitness level. You may be having injuries or limitations that you need to be aware of that stop you from doing certain exercises or training modalities. You might be also unable to go to that training location that often. Sometimes you want to be maybe training calisthenics, which is bodyweight training on bars, but you don't have a park nearby, or you have a park but it's raining every second day and you live in the UK. So that's a big problem. These are the things that you need to take into consideration before building your training plan. And if you do that right, which is we're going to discuss in this episode, you have a very good chance of sticking to it and achieving some significant results. But if you pick a training plan following somebody else because they achieved these results, over 90% chance that you will quit eventually from that training plan and you will burn yourself, you can get injured, you can waste a lot of your time, and most importantly, you're gonna drop off, which is exactly what we don't want. Okay, so let's dive into comparing all the training modalities so you can understand them and have a better chance of picking the right one that is going to fit you. We're going to start with the HIIT workouts. They're very popular, and lots of influencers out there will swear that this is the best training modality for you. And yes, there is great benefits. First of all, it takes like 20 minutes to get done and you're really smashed. It trains your cardiovascular system and conditions your nervous system. So it's a very good conditioning training. And what else? Not much else. Let's start with the cons, with the things that they don't tell you that you should be very much aware of. First of all, it's not very intense for your muscles. Often this is not strength-based training, and often it's mostly cardio training. And yes, you're doing some push-ups and some burpees which use your muscles, but they don't take them to failure. So that will lead to atrophy if you are on a caloric deficit, which is very bad for you if you want to lose weight in the long run. Second of all, it's very intense. Like, I hate HIIT workouts. I do them sometimes as part of my conditioning and having fun with the guys. But doing HIIT workouts all the time, it's a pain in the ass and you're not gonna enjoy a single bit of it. And if you're somebody with a lot of experience, maybe that's gonna stick with you. Maybe it's gonna be okay. But for most of you who are beginners or even intermediate, HIIT workouts are not sustainable. They're just pain. The workouts, I believe, they have to be something you kind of enjoy and you look forward to. They shouldn't be something that you completely hate and you don't want to go and you don't want to do it and you're looking for every single excuse possible so you don't do your workout on any day. So HIIT workouts, in my opinion, are not the greatest. Okay, the next modality we'll discuss is the traditional strength and hypertrophy workouts, which can be done with weights and with body weight or mixture of both. Now, they are very good for most people, very good for beginners and for intermediate because it's kind of easy to go through them. They also require you to rest between the sets, which gives you that nice break so you don't get too fatigued and really wiped out in the middle of the workout, but you can keep going with a steady pace until the end and train all your muscles, which is super important when it comes to fat loss. For you to lose fat in the long run, the best call for action is to maintain your metabolism very high throughout the 24-hour cycle and stay on a caloric deficit, and you will be burning a lot of the fat when you're resting, when you're sleeping, when you're walking around, and not just when you're doing your workout. So that's why strength training, traditional strength training, is very good, because it targets the muscles properly, makes sure all the muscles fibers are trained, which preserves them and even builds them, which increases your metabolism, and in the long run is absolutely amazing. Whereas the HIIT training, which we just discussed, can do the opposite. Now, should we be doing body weight or weights training? Well, that will depend on what's your preference and fitness level, and I will discuss a little bit more about that in later. But to answer the question, which one is better? Well, none of them is better. I do personally feel, like a big calisthenics fan, that bodyweight training is superior to weight training because it gives you other benefits that weight training can't, such as relative strength, the ability to move your own body, and it also makes your joints much stronger. And there is a myth actually that calisthenics can make your joints weaker and hurt them. That's completely false, because your joints, same as the muscles, will respond to training. When you put them under tension and under a lot of stress, your cartilage, your ligaments, your tendons, and your bones will strengthen just the same way that your muscles will strengthen. And when you're isolating them all the time, you're protecting them, you're actually keeping them somewhat weak, and you're training your muscles, so the muscles become very strong, but the joints are not as durable and they can get injured much easier. So bodyweight training provides you with that robust development of the body overall and the ability to move, and also keeps you mobile and flexible much more than the weights training. And if you're doing mostly weights, then you have to be doing some stretching and mobility work separately so you can maintain that part of your body, that mobility. The disadvantage of traditional strength and hypertrophy workouts is mostly that they get very long. They do require a little bit more time because they have to be done with about 1.5 minutes up to 3 minutes rest between the sets. Or you can just stick for the average of 2 minutes, which can make the workouts longer than 45 minutes, sometimes going up to an hour or even more, depending on how much you're training. So if you don't have time, that's not a good call for you. But if you do have time, these workouts are absolutely amazing, and it will help you lose fat as much as any other workout. Okay, and the last modality before I move forward is that circuit training. Circuit training is absolutely amazing, and if you've never done it, you probably want to try it. This is the type of workout that I give to all my clients when they sign up to my program, because it's super time efficient and anyone can do it from home, from gym, wherever they are. So it's very easy to do. Circuit training is done very similar way like HIIT workouts, but high intensity interval training is usually done with a lighter workout for your muscles. It's mostly focused on the cardiovascular system, on doing very light exercises for a lot of reps. Whereas the circuit training can be done with the same sets that you would do for strength and hypertrophy workout. For example, I can say do dips, or do pull-ups, or do push-ups, or do bench press. I can give you exercises that are very heavy, and I can assign you about 10 to 12 reps and 15 reps per exercise, which is very intense. But because I'm rotating the muscles that I'm using within a circuit workout, you're able to train one muscle. Let's say you're doing push-ups and you're training your chest and your triceps and your shoulders, and then we move to pull-ups. Then you'll be training your biceps and your back. In this period, your chest, your triceps and your shoulders will be resting, and then we move to overhead press using the triceps and the shoulders again, but they're already rested, and then we move to pulling again. We can say bicep curls. So in this way, by rotating the exercises, we're allowing one muscle to rest whilst the other one is training. We're saving a lot of time. We're also keeping your heart rate relatively high, which is helping you condition you and training your cardiovascular system. So it's a great modality, and a circuit can be completed in about 5, 6, 7 minutes, which gives you a total workout time of about 21 to 30 minutes, depending on how slow you are and how many exercises you do. So circuit training is great, but there is a little disadvantage, and that it's it's very hard. So for most of you, it's going to be intense. And if you don't have somebody keeping you accountable and pushing you all the time, you might be kind of doing it slowly and not pushing yourself that far. And it's going to be a bit of a struggle to complete it until the end. But if you have the willpower, if you're determined and you go through the workout honestly, it's a great training modality. Okay, let's discuss the most important question for you right now, and that is how to build the best perfect workout plan that's going to fit you and is going to help you lose weight permanently in the very long run. So to start doing that, you first have to understand that the main priority here will be your sustainability. The sustainability in the workout, which will ensure the long-term progress and achieving your goals. To do that, I will give you 3 steps that you can follow right now. So have a pen and paper, write things down, and create your plan as you're following this podcast. The first step is to identify what you're capable of doing, what equipment do you have access to, and what you enjoy doing. What you're capable part is obviously super important. You can't be doing calisthenics when you're super overweight and you barely move. So that's not going to be a good choice. So make sure you identify really your limitations. Then what equipment do you have access to, and what is the easiest and most sure equipment? Sometimes you have a few dumbbells at home. You also have a gym 15 minutes away, but you have a very busy schedule and you don't know if you're going to be able to make it to the gym every day. So it might be better you stick to training at home until you build a little bit more discipline and willingness to go to workout. So it's really important to pick something that you can stick with, something that you enjoy, and that's where the really starts. You don't start from picking the workout based on somebody's advice about their training program, about their results. You start by asking yourself, what is going to stick with me? And then you can create any training plan, any workout that you want from the equipment that you have. We can train, as we said, with body weight, with weights, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you how to do that. Just pick what fits you and what you enjoy as well. Step 2 will be to identify the time availability that you have, how many days per week you can be training, on which days you can be training, and how long time do you have per workout. A big mistake will be to try to do something that doesn't fit in. Obviously, it's not going to work. So let's start with the how long time do you have available per each workout. If you're having below 30 to 40 minutes, which has to include the warm-up, the main part, and the cool-down, then you probably want to go for something that fits in, and best case, you do a circuit workout. If you try to do a strength hypertrophy workout within this time, you might end up rushing through it, not training as intense as you should in such workout, and maybe skipping a few exercises. So pick something that's going to fit in, and the circuit workouts for this time schedule are best. Now you might be asking, isn't it HIIT workout burning more fat than the circuit workouts? Why shouldn't I be doing the HIIT workout instead? And here is the thing. Yes, HIIT workouts are shown to burn a little bit more fat during the workout. But the difference between the fat burnt within a single workout, regardless what workout you pick, is minuscule. It's not going to help you get leaner anytime sooner. That's going to drain you, exhaust you, beat you down, and you're not going to be able to stick to it for the long run. You burn fat within the 24-hour cycles, which I mentioned earlier, and if you want more about how to burn fat and all details about how this process works, click on this link here. If you're watching on YouTube, one of my previous episodes is about how to lose fat, and if you're listening to the podcast on another platform, you can find that there. So it really doesn't matter how much fat you're going to burn throughout the workout, because that's not why we do the workouts in the first place. If you're going with this approach, you're never going to get to the end. So when I hear influencers preaching about their workouts and how they burn fat better or burn their six-pack and show their abs, I totally get sick of it, because it's all false. These are lies that you should stop listening to. And if you're following anyone like that, you can unsubscribe and subscribe to this podcast, because they'll teach the truth and how to actually lose fat permanently. Okay, I hope that didn't offend you if you've been following some of these people, but I do have to say what's true. And if some of you listening right now are some of those influencers who preach about your training modalities, or you're trying now to copy this video and create your own version, don't preach that bullshit, because you're hurting people. There are people out there who really need this help, who really need to lose weight. and they don't need that bullshit because it's going to take them down the wrong path and they will quit and they will fail, and that's because of you. So you should be ashamed of yourself if you're teaching this kind of stuff. Start preaching the truth and not lies. Okay, on a positive note now, let's move to how many days do you have for your workouts, which will help you identify the training split. If you're having 3 workout days per week available and you only can commit consistently to 3 days, your best call will be between 3 options. First option will be doing 3 full body workouts on every of the available days and making sure either way that you don't have more than 2 rest days between the workouts, right? So try to spread them out if possible. So option 2 will be 1 upper body, 1 lower body, and 1 full body workout. And option 3 will be full body pull, full body push, and full body workout. If you need more information on what these workouts actually are, just comment below. It's very simple, I'll explain. Next, if you have 4 to 5 days, that's when it gets interesting. 5 training days, in my experience, is absolutely best. In these 4 days, you can fit upper lower body done twice with a rest day in between, or full body push and full body pull, again with a rest day between, done twice. And on the 5th day, if you have a 5th day, you should be doing your cardio. I will talk about the cardio at the end of this episode, so stick around. I have a very good bonus about cardio, which, by the way, if you do cardio wrong, you potentially will reduce your strength, you will slow down your metabolic rate, and you will burn less fat in the long run, and you will burn yourself down, you might even get injured. So watch until the end to know how to do the cardio properly. And finally, if you have 6 days or more for training and you want to fill them in, that's when it gets a little bit tricky and complicated. If you are a beginner, it's just not for you. Don't go for the 6 days, it's not gonna work for you. You will make a ton of mistakes. Learn to do the basics within 4 days first and then move forward. If you're an intermediate guy, that might be for you, but it's a bit tricky, and I will give you the training split that I use. And if you're an advanced guy, then go for it. Training 6 days a week is absolutely amazing. So here is the training split that I personally use right now. I really love it. There's other variations. Obviously, 6 days a week gives you a lot of freedom. But if you want something that works, here it is. Do 1 day with upper body pull. 2nd day, upper body push. 3rd day, zone 2 cardio. 4th day, lower body. And the 5th day, your rest day. And then you start again. So practically this is a 5-day schedule that doesn't really fit within a week properly, so it's going to be shifting through the days of the week progressively, but that's fine for me. And if it's fine for you, it's a great training split. It gives you the ability to exhaust your body, train all the muscles properly, don't burn out, have frequent rest periods, because the zone 2 cardio is like a rest period, and also the rest day is like a rest period. So it's going to allow you to perform at high level every single time you step in the gym and just keep making gains. And that's it. You follow these 3 steps and you can build the perfect training plan. If you have any more questions about that, you can always comment below and I will help you however I can. Also, make sure to subscribe to this podcast, because I will be discussing a lot of your questions in future episodes. And one of them is the cardio, which I already have recorded. So as I mentioned, cardio is very important to be done right, because you can do a lot of mistakes. And also you want to do cardio because cardio is great for conditioning, great for the cardiovascular system, great for recovery, great for fat burning. Cardio is so important, but you can easily mess it up, and most people do it wrong, definitely. Or most people overdo it. You don't want to overdo it, you want to do just the right amount of cardio, and you want to do it in the right time. So if you want to learn all about cardio, click on this video here if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on some of your favorite podcast platforms, it's episode 10, the previous episode. It's all about cardio and it's going to teach you everything that you need to know. So that's about it for today. Thanks for being my guest, and I'll see you in the next episode.